Yianni, experience getting drafted last week and then these last couple of days, what's this all been like for you?
I mean, it's a dream. Like all the facility here in the locker rooms, it's a dream. Yeah.
So, first development camp for you, do you have any goals or expectations coming into these few days?
Just take the experiments here and learn it from the better guys and from the older guys. So learn it from it. And
What's it been like getting to work with the development coaches here these last couple of days?
how I say already, it's a dream to be here and practice here and be part of the organization.
Do you know Martin Kromiak at all, and what's your relationship like with him?
I know him. He texts me after the draft. We have same agent. So he texts me that welcome, and if you need something, then call me and we can figure out something.
Is it nice to have someone like him in the organization already who's been through this?
For sure, he can help me with the things what I don't know, and I can learn it from him.
So going into next season for you, a different kind of opportunity going to the OHL. What are you looking forward to?
How I say, take the experiments and get ready for the NHL.
So Jimmy, congratulations on the selection. How did you find out? Were you watching when it happened?
I actually just went upstairs and stopped watching for about 2 minutes, and then I hear my mom yell to get downstairs, and then I saw my name. It was pretty cool.
So I'm sure that's kind of been a whirlwind few days for you. What's it been like?
It's been a great experience. Like being here, I've learned a lot. There's older guys you get to follow, and all the staff have been amazing, and it's been awesome.
Did you have any expectations or goals for yourself coming into camp?
Just compete, work my hardest, and prove I belong here and can show what I'm made of. That's it. That's all.
Where would you say your game's at right now, and what are you working on? Not just these few days, but for the rest of the offseason going into next year.
I think I need to keep working on getting bigger, my strength, my speed, to continue into the next level. I think that just tweaking some little things and really focusing down on the minor details will help me elevate my game. So yeah.
I know you're committed to play college hockey. What went into making that decision for you?
Talking to the University of Michigan, they have amazing facilities, and they've produced a lot of good hockey players and great development, and I think that helped me out a lot, and help my path to the NHL.
Last one, working with the development coaches here with the Kings these few days, what's that opportunity been like to learn from them on a daily basis?
Well, I feel like I'm learning from the best. They've shown me so much. I didn't know I had so much to learn. It's been eye-opening and super motivating.
For you, you were a defenseman, shutdown guy. There's guys that we drafted this past draft, and Will Sharp, obviously Brustevich, but also Harrington, who are a little bit more offensively talented, or that's where their game is. Mm-hmm. For you, what are the things that you want to implement or teach them about in terms of the defensive side?
Just defending. I think you talk to any coach at any level, the biggest thing is defending as a defenseman. You have to do that first. And so that's what we always harp on here. Odie has done a great job of doing this over the years, but just really finding a way to help these kids really focus on defending and let the offense take care of itself. Those kids, they're going to work on that. They're going to get out there. They're going to work on it on their own. I think at the end of practice, they get 5 minutes left. What do? They go shoot. They go take one-timers. They go work on stick handling. What we really want to focus on is building trust with coaches. And as a defenseman, to do that, you have to keep the puck out of your net. You have to be able to check. And that's our biggest focus for these 3 days of camp. And what they'll get a lot too when they finally get to us is it's all about defending.
Is that something that separates some guys from others, whether they're defensemen or forwards, whatever position they play, is how they adapt to playing defense at a different level?
I think it's a secret to getting more ice time. I think once you make sure that you are responsible defensively, you're not getting scored on, and that's especially as a young defenseman and as a forward as well. You'll earn more trust with the coaching staff, and once you earn that more trust, that translates to more ice time and gives you more opportunity to be a game breaker. If you're an offensive defenseman, you need ice time to do that. You need ice time to get chances. It's too good of a league to just generate chances every time you get out there. You're not going to be able to do it every shift. So when you can defend to earn that more ice time, you get to pick and choose your spots a little bit more and have more success.
When you're working with a young player who's probably the best player on the team he's coming from, or maybe didn't have to value defense, as much, how hard is it sometimes to break that mindset and communicate it's not that way when you get to the professional level?
It's hard. It's hard, not something you go through. But again, like we don't want to break anybody. We just want to enhance their game and add more pieces to their game. I think pro hockey, it's a great realization too, because guys don't age out. I think you come here and say if a kid made the team next year, he's going to have to play behind. If he's playing up front, Hanji Kopitar is a centerman. It's really hard to get his ice time. Drew Doughty's a defenseman here. It's really hard to get that ice time. So you're going to have to figure out a way to kind of get yourself in there, to wedge your foot in the door, and to find a way to get yourself some more ice time. And that's what we're trying to help these kids with. And so again, we're not trying to break anybody. We're not trying to break anybody down. We're just trying to add pieces to their game to make them more well-rounded players and better hockey players.
This is the first year we've seen Broker saw off on the ice here in LA. You met him last year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
What are your initial questions of seeing him on the ice?
He can skate really well. He's a big body. I think he's been really receptive to coaching. He's got a good skill set. Really excited to see him for the whole year next year.
There's a handful of guys that you've worked with throughout this whole year because of being on the range and stuff. But for guys that maybe you haven't seen since last development camp, has there been any people that have stuck out to you specifically?
Yeah, I think most of the people that were pretty much every defenseman that was in development camp last year, we went out and saw live this year, and so we've been tracking their games. It's good to get on the ice with a guy like Woolley, who's made just absolute leaps and bounds this year. Not that he wasn't in a good spot last year, but he's just continued to impress and improve and get better. Jack Sparks over the years, same thing. Just his commitment to working hard and putting in the time it shows in his game. And it's we got a lot of really good kids on the back end who just aren't afraid to work, and they want to get better. They're very receptive, and they're really good kids.
You talked a lot about building kind of foundational habits, especially on the defensive side. Todd McClellan used to talk about the B game, the ongoing habits, that kind of thing. How do you balance, developing that really strongly, but also working on the A game and maximizing the talents that the player has, and as opposed to just simply rounding them out, like also maximizing their strengths on the offensive side, I guess.
Again, like we talked about before, I think that's something that a lot of those guys, they're going to focus on that a lot when they're with their team, when they're practicing throughout the year, or really working that game. When they go back home and they're skating in the summertime, I think those guys that are offensive, you're going to see them. They're going to want to work on their shot. They're going to want to work on their timing. They're going to want to watch tape on that, on how to create more offense. And so for us, again, it's those guys. Let's develop that other part of the game. Let's figure it out, and let's try to do it. I think those guys, they're gonna, again, if these guys want to be pro hockey players, eventually their inner will and their inner drive has to take over to do it, and we can help them with that. We'll try to help them as much as we can with getting their A game better. But at the same time, too, I think if you look at these kids, a lot of the things they're going to work on when they're on their own and back with their own coaches is exactly what you talked about.
Does that balance change when they're in the system, guys, or in Ontario, or maybe kind of moving back and forth?
Absolutely, I think. But at that point, you're trying to just develop into the best hockey player you can. So when they do pull on a Kings jersey, they're ready to contribute, not develop there. They're ready to help win championships.
In a short week with a limited format, you see the progress in players like Sparks and Woolley. How are you able to communicate to first-time attendees that, like, hey, there has been progress will be rewarded, and you should want to continue to progress for the first timers? How do you communicate that if they've never had a chance to see it?
You just try to. The message is the same. I think you try to point at Angus Booth a lot. I know he hasn't been in the scrimmages, but he's been in every practice, and you try to say, you're putting him up front to doing it, and you're talking to Otto Celine, guys who have been through this a few times already, and you're hoping that they're passing it down. You're talking to those guys taking a leadership role in terms of saying, okay, this is working for me, this has helped me. And I think Angus is a great example of that. He came in last year, had a great year with the Reign, and and he's back here again doing the same thing over again and getting those repetitions. And it's not something, I don't think the light bulb just turns on. I think it's like anything. The more you do it, the better you get at it, and with that practice, really prepared practice and really trying to get after it. And, we just preach the same message. And we just say, hey, this is going to earn you more ice time. That's what players want. They want more playing time. They want to play more. It's going to earn you more trust with the coaches. That's what it's going to translate to. So hopefully they lean on some other guys who have been here for a few years to make sure that it works, or see if it works, and they can take to it.
Felt like last year, a lot of the players and even some of the staff talked about how the intensity got more and more as the week went on. Have you liked the intensity of the way that the scrimmages are at right now, and how has that happened? Do you feel like it's been on that kind of line this week?
Yeah, I thought Monday was good. I thought today was better. I think guys are getting a little more emotional and stuff like that. It's hard in the middle of summer, especially some of the European kids. You don't know when their season ended. Some guys that were playing juniors that just got drafted, they might be done for a few months, and then you look at Henry, he's probably been done for a month, or maybe a few weeks. And so you just, everybody's in a different spot over the summer, and so it takes a little while to get ramped up, but I think it's good. And just, it's natural. Guys want to show why they're here, All these kids, there's no freebies in this camp. Everybody here has been identified by our scouting staff, either drafted or personally invited, because we think that they have a talent to make it to the NHL. And so they're all here. They all want to show it. They all want to compete, and they all want to show why they're here. They're proud kids, and they're good kids, and I think they're doing a great job.
When Kirsanov was drafted, Mark Yianni said he was a really mature prospect. In terms of emotional maturity, physical maturity, definitely. Now that you got him on the ice, and it's a couple of years later, where do you think he's at in terms of his development, and maybe how close is he to NHL readiness?
I can't tell you that right now, just how close he is. I think we're really getting. I think I saw him play live 4 years ago, and then since then it's been all over tape. And so it's great to finally get him on the ice, get hands on him, and we'll see what we have here going in. But it's going to be great having a year with him. But to put a prediction on that, you just can't do it right now.
I understand. And something like the same that draft Dvorak, I think was your highest pick there. Where do you think he's come along now, coming and playing on the North American ice and all that?
I think it was great. I think it was a big testament to him coming over and playing the American League as a 19-year-old. That's not easy to do. He did everything the coaching staff asked for him, the training staff. He's done a great job with that. I think especially, he talked about mental maturity. I think he's gotten a lot, not that he was lacking in that, but I think just a year of pro hockey underneath his belt in North America has really helped him. And again, we're looking forward to working with him. He took a lot of steps last year off the ice and on the ice with the Reign, and we're really excited to see that trajectory go the same way.